black and white, Barry. You'd take the point, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, here we go. It's a big night for both sides. Chris Clarkson returned to the side and topped the tackle count against the Catalan Dragons last week. And, well, Jordan Rankin at fullback filling the boots of Jake Marmo tonight. He was fullback in the last 11 of 2017, and he has been standoff in all so far. Good to see Jordan Turner back. He missed last Friday's win against Widnes. So we're just about ready to go. Perfect condition for Rugby League. A bit of a grey, grizzly, old mizzly night, but it's been damp most of the day, hence the low shooting kickoff that Gaskell has picked up, and off we go for what could be a very interesting night. That's Akumatai taking the first tackle of the evening. Danny Brough spreading the ball wide. Here comes Dale Ferguson now for the Huddersfield Giants. Danny Brough, by the way, he has signed an extension to his contract, of course. And, well, he is very much part and parcel, part of the fabric of the Huddersfield Giants in Super League, and a former man of steel. His kicking game tonight will be absolutely crucial. The kicking game that Tim Sheens believes will be crucial all evening. The Hull Kingston Rovers coach, of course. This is Akumatai. Goes down on tackle number 5, just about 8 metres inside the Rovers half. Here's the first kick then from Danny Brough, and it's high, and it's hanging, and in the end it's very well claimed by Adam Quinlan.
Adam Quinlan would have gone round to all his teammates and said, look, on the 4th and 5th play, you've got to be aware of where Danny Brough is. Huddersfield last week kicked the ball 15 times. Danny Brough was in control of those 12 times. He's the go-to man on the last plays. Don't let him get the kick and place it where he wants to. Otherwise, it could be a long night for Adam Quinlan.
Interesting selection from Tim Sheens tonight, that George Lawler takes over at hooker from Tommy Lee. Lee is on the bench. And there is Mossy Massoy, and a miscommunication, but they got away with it. They managed to retain possession, do Hull KR, and that's Ryan Shaw, who goes down under the challenge of Gaskell. Justin Carney. The ball being spread now to Danny Maguire, and his kick right down the middle of the field. Aaron Murphy traps the ball for Huddersfield. He has a bit of time as well to do that, because the chase wasn't crash hot. And what's more, there is now a penalty for the first high shot from Andrew Heffernan.
Well, the first penalty goes in favour of the Huddersfield Giants, and I really like watching Aaron Murphy. Every time you see him play, he's totally committed, and this is where Hull KR can't build discipline. 2 minutes into the game, they struggle to get meters coming away from their own line, then all of a sudden they get the ball down the other end of the pitch and they give a penalty away.
So Huddersfield will start this latest set of 6 right on the halfway line. It's another solid run from Akumatai, who's taken the ball up about 4 times already tonight. Caused a couple of dents in the Hull Kingston Rovers defence already. And this is Rankin chiming into the line. Hull KR deal with the threat on that occasion. Adam O'Brien is the dummy half. Ryan Hinchcliffe now. Former Giants captain, of course, is Ryan Hinchcliffe. Adam O'Brien again. See where they are, midway inside the Rovers half of the field. Akumatai once more. You see what Rick Stone has asked him to do tonight, just cart the ball forward on every opportunity. They go down the left-hand side to Brough. Brough then spreads it wide. Not bad feet there from Rankin. Last tackle coming up. They're 8-9 metres away from the Rovers line. Brough, will he slide the kick in? No, he won't. You give it to Gaskell. He does that. And it's all mopped up at the back. And a decent set of 6 for Rick Stone's men.
Good territory for the Giants. Again, that kicking game, and you're going to see the Giants off the back of the kicking game get good field position and really make Hull KR work hard away from their own line. Thomas Mins on that occasion. The back 5 of Hull KR will have to work extra hard this evening.
Well, I said that Hull KR's record here not good. They've lost 6 and drawn 2 of the 10. They haven't won at Huddersfield since 2012. Of course, Tim Sheens hasn't been here all that long, and alongside James Webster, that's the coaching brains trust at the K-Com Craven Park, and Rob Mulhern has taken a bang.
Well, he carries the ball forward. There's no really push or support with him, and before this tackle, Tim Sheens was shaking his head, probably looking around the the men who were not offering themselves with the teammates. When Justin Carney, he scooted, there was nobody pushing up. He's an easy target. When you're coming away from your own try line, it's easy for the defence to get nice and condensed and really look to force a shot.
He tried to get his head through collision, and it was only his head that got through, and that gap was quickly shut.
Danny Brough goes for another long kick down the middle of the field on tackle number 5. Again, the Rovers chase gets there in the end. There was no great rush, no great urgency. And Aaron Murphy brings the ball forward for the Huddersfield Giants. Here now is Jermaine McGilvray, the star for England in the World Cup in Australia, back end of last year. 7 tries in the World Cup for Jermaine McGilvray. He really did set the house on fire.
Eddie, if there's a challenge for Huddersfield this season, it's to try and get the ball to Jermaine McGilvray with some running options, rather than just in the centre of the field where he's taking on 3 or 4 defenders.
Oliver Roberts now taking on 3 of those defenders. Gets to his feet quickly, and O'Brien again at dummy half. Here comes Hinchcliffe, spreads it to Brough, further wide they go. This is Ferguson. That's a great run from Dale Ferguson.
It's a great line, isn't it, looking for an inside shoulder.
Last tackle here, and O'Brien, well, they overran his pass, but they have a penalty because OKR pinged for offside on their own line.
Comes off the back of a quick play, the ball from Dale Ferguson. He was nice and direct. OKR couldn't get back on that right-hand side. O'Brien thought he spotted some space, but they get the penalty.
Ben Taylor was quick to spot that. So here they come with big Ikehihifo. Great opportunity this for the Huddersfield Giants. Brough gets it away to Gaskell. Gaskell is gobbled up by Maurice Blair. O'Brien, 3 metres away now. Has the pass into centre field. Danny Brough. He is the engine room of this Huddersfield Giants side. He's got his hands on the ball again here. Gets it away then. Oh, and a chance. It's a nice little run from Sam Wood. Wood is held up just a metre short. O'Brien again. Brough had to dip to pick up the pass. It's a great kick, and it hit the upright. It denied Jordan Rankin of the try. Quinlan, though, to the rescue.
Brilliant again. You see him just injecting himself in the game. One of the points we were discussing, myself and Brian Carney, before the match was Gaskell, Brough and Rankin, how they'll divide and share that responsibility. But the way that Danny Brough reads that game, Adam Quinlan had to be on his mark then, had to get the ball over that back line. He'll just inject himself in and out of the game as he sees fit, Danny Brough.
Adam Quinlan, people will remember from a stint at St Helens in 2015. He made 12 appearances for the Saints. This, meanwhile, is McGilvray taking it forward. O'Brien again to Gaskell. Looks for the runner once more. It's a Kumatai. Adam O'Brien waits. And down the short side with Lee Gaskell. He had Jordan Turner on his shoulder, couldn't smuggle the ball to him. O'Brien. Into centre field it goes to Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe then keeps the movement going. Once again it is with Brough. He turns the ball back on the inside for Ferguson. 7 minutes gone, still we await the first points, but Huddersfield turning the screw here. This is Ikehihifo again. Good tackle needed, good tackle was produced then by Mulhern. O'Brien and Brough, short ball, good ball too, try, first one goes to Oliver Roberts. Ben Taylor will have a check with the touch judges, nothing wrong with that. All the early pressure from the Huddersfield Giants, and they come away with the first points of the night. The 3rd try of the year for Oliver Roberts, the Irish international, and actually is in wonderful try-scoring form. Tries in 2 of the last 3. He came on leaps and bounds last year, and he seems to be continuing that sort of form in the early stages of 2018. Huddersfield ahead 4-0.
Well, Danny Brough pulling the strings all over the park, isn't he? A little nod and a wink to Jordan Rankin. They force another set of 6. And one thing's for sure, when you play against Huddersfield, they'll throw an awful lot at you. You've got a couple of players who push up really hard, and Mossy Massoy, you can just see he sits in a pocket, opens up a bit of space, and I agree with you. I think Oliver Roberts has had a great 12 months.
Just watch the way he holds the ball in 2 hands. He's done it a number of times already. 8 minutes on the clock. He's holding the ball in 2 hands. The defenders don't know whether he's going to run, they don't know whether he's going to pass, whether he's going to kick, and on that occasion he just teased Chris Atkin out the line, opened the door for Oliver Roberts, who's another player. You mentioned Jermaine McGilvray. having a wonderful World Cup. But you can say the same thing about that player, Oliver Roberts, in the green jersey of Ireland.
Well, he went through a massive hole in the Hull Kingston Rovers defence, did Oliver Roberts, and here is Danny Brough to try and add the extras, which I think he does, and the flags tell you that he has. So Huddersfield lead by 6 points to 0. Early strike from the Giants.
Well, this is a good try, is it, for Huddersfield? It's the 13th try they've scored this season, 8 of them in the opening quarter of the matches. They've started games particularly well. The challenge, I suppose, for tonight and the rest of the season is to play the next 3 quarters as well as they are in that only 20-minute spell. But a player, as you said, who benefited, I think, from playing internationally. Some players go away, play at an international level and come back and perform to a higher degree. He's certainly one who, in the start of this season, has done exactly that.
Pleasing start for the coach, Rick Stone. He's 51 years old. He's taking charge of his 46th game tonight. Winning 18, losing 24, 3 draws. And looking to improve the record in 2018.
Well, when you look at Huddersfield here, they're certainly taking the game to him nice and direct. They're not playing lateral. Looking to play off a decent play the ball for Adam O'Brien.
Jordan Turner was the man who was tackled there, and this is O'Brien now from dummy half. Hooker in every game so far, made his Giants debut last April in the Super League. Brough, Ferguson, it's better from Heffernan. He had a little bit of help from Maguire, but Ferguson gets away from the wall, and he's on his way down that left-hand side. Good recovery from the defenders there. Mulhern doing his job. This now is Brough again. At the outside of the boot, he just hoists it high. Quinlan's underneath it, and the chase is enthusiastic by Huddersfield. That's been the difference when Huddersfield have put the kick in. The man receiving the kick has been surrounded by Huddersfield jerseys, not so the other end.
They're kicking on the front foot. You look at the extra effort, the second effort from Dale Ferguson to get rid of those Hull KR defenders and all of a sudden really take the game to them. I'm looking for a big game from this Mossy Masoi. Last week he only made 7 carries and 36 metres. That's not good enough. We expect more from him.
This is George Lawler now. He made his first appearance last week as a sub, and he came on and scored a try in Perpignan. Mulhern again. He's been lively in the opening 10.5 minutes for Hull KR. Atkin with a kick now. His kick goes high, but look at the time and the space that Jordan Rankin has. Such a difference from up the other end.
It's a great point you make. He's got all the time in the world, Jordan Rankin. They're kicking on the back foot. There's no speed to play the ball on the last tackle. And Huddersfield Giants with 10 minutes on the clock. Just watch this. No panic, no rush, calm and composed. He's even got time to catch the ball and look who's in front of him before he starts to venture forward.
Huddersfield then back in possession. Jordan Turner gave themselves up then, because had they continued that move forward, Stuart, I think that might have been a whistle for an obstruction penalty.
Yeah, certainly give himself up, so it avoids the penalty and keeps the game going.
Hinchcliffe goes down on this challenge. This now O'Brien. O'Brien gives it to Brough, and Brough will hoist it high. And just let's see what the difference is here. Wonderful kick. They've allowed it to bounce. Anything can happen now, but look at the number of players who got forward for the Huddersfield Giants to make sure that Quinlan was going nowhere other than to ground.
Well, that's a big feature, isn't it, of Danny Brough's game? And obviously when he kicks the ball, he kicks it to space, and then when you're running forward to it, you think you're going to get it, and then all of a sudden it takes a bit of a turn in the earth.
This is very much the fulcrum of everything that Huddersfield are doing and have done.
There you go, Eddie. That's the young bull taking it upon himself to try and first of all get his team forward, but fight. I do like it when Rob Mulhern has the Sergeant Slaughter haircut. Suits him.
And there he is, Rob Mulhern. Started the first 4, substitute last week in Perpignan, formerly with Leeds, of course. Last Rhinos game, fun enough, was an appearance here in a 24-all draw, or in 2014.
Oh, great play.
Wonderful hands, and the chance here for Heffernan.
Great.
And Heffernan gets all the way through to the line. It was the initial quick pass. I think it was Adam Quinlan, the full-back. A beautiful pass out wide. And Heffernan, but he just skipped his way through the Huddersfield defence. And the first time the Hull KR have threatened the Giants line, they're over for the try.
Well, Huddersfield Giants lost collision because of the endeavour of that player. Rob Mulhern forces the whistle to be blown. And one of the features of any Tim Sheen's team is set piece, set play, dragging defenders out the line. Look at this for footwork, stop, start, left, right, beautiful try.
I agree with you, Eddie. This nice little soft pass here from Quinlan. Look, he's under some pressure from Danny Brough, yet still manages to get the ball away. And look at that for footwork. Beats one man with his right foot, and he beats the fullback with his left. This is quality, this. Look at that nice little weighted pass. Does well to keep his composure, and that's what they can do, Hull KR. Give him some field position, they can score some points.
Andrew Heffernan showing great dexterity with the feet. He only missed the win against the Catalan Dragons at home. 18 tries in 24 appearances last year. He got 5 two-try performances to his name in 2017. Okay, it was in the Championship, but he's certainly carrying it on here in Super League. That's his first try of the season. Now Ryan Shaw, 4 from 4 with the boot last week in Perpignan. Difficult kick for his first effort. He's kicking well. He's kicking well this year. Great stuff from Ryan Shaw. The scores are level. Huddersfield's lead didn't last long.
Building confidence is essential for the newly promoted side. The Hull KR came up. They haven't been that successful at scoring tries through passing plays, but they've thrown a series of passes together there, been highly effective. And you've got to imagine that when they walk back to halfway line here now to get ready for this restart, that's boosted the belief that they can win here tonight.
Cool, calm and collected by the looks of things on the Hull Kingston Rovers coaching bench. Here comes Mossy Massoy. And Justin Carney will pick it up from dummy half, and he'll have a trademark barge down the middle.
They'll always get you going forward again. Look at this, easy meters. You win one play, it helps your teammate. Rob Mulhern not been dominated even by 3 defenders.
Lawler's pass to the left-hand side finds Ben Kavanagh. Lawler again. That was Maguire who got the ball wide. Heffernan once more, and Heffernan fancies a second. He doesn't need a second because he's given it to Quinlan. 2 tries in as many minutes for Hull Kingston Rovers. Adam Quinlan with the try. And the travelling support delighted. And a nice little wry smile from Tim Sheens as well. I think he was very pleased with that. Well, they've opened Huddersfield up twice in 2 minutes down that right-hand side. Adam Quinlan with that try, Heffernan with the other, and Hull Kingston Rovers being 6-0 down inside the first quarter of an hour and now 10-6 up.
Well, you put this down to just hard work, bringing the ball away from your line, running really hard. Justin Carney took it upon himself to just take it into the line. Then it was Rob Mulhern. Then all of a sudden you just couldn't, or they just couldn't control this Hull KR side. Look at this, nice crisp passing at the line. Heffernan, well, hasn't he come to life in the last 5 minutes? And Quinlan, who I'm sure he made his debut for Saints against Huddersfield, and scored a hat-trick, if I'm not mistaken, Eddie. He does like playing against this Huddersfield side. A good player, not the biggest, but he can certainly score a try.
The subtlety to the line from Heffernan. The minute Chris Clarkson started to veer right, there was an invisible rope between those 2 players that never got any shorter, never got any wider. He mapped and mirrored that line. The space was created, and then it was wonderful execution at the back.
Well, Ryan Shaw kicked the first conversion, and this is easier than that first one. It's just to the right of the post as he looks, and he's a left-footed kicker, as you can see. It's going to be 12-6 in a moment. And 12-6 it is. Hull Kingston Rovers 6 down, now lead 12-6. Let's get down to Bill on the sideline.
Eddie, there's certainly no sign of weariness in this Hull Kingston Rovers side, despite their quick turnaround from their trip to Perpignan, where, of course, they lost controversially by 2 points to the Catalan Dragons. They came back the early hours of Sunday morning. They've only had 1 training session in the build-up to this game. Tim Sheens decided to give his players plenty of rest. They've had 3 days off, 1 training session, and this is what they come up with. Maybe they should have more days off.
I was going to say exactly the same, Bill, you're right, and there'll be no one arguing in a Hull Kingston Rovers jersey about that particular point of view. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Well, nice and refreshed and full of energy, aren't they? They started slow, but they've certainly got into the game now.
Oh, Mossy Massoy has picked up a knock here.
I think it's nice when you see tries scored through brains, not always through brawn. And Hull KR is getting there now to break their opponents and then convert those chances into points. Well, that's the sign of a side that ends up in the top half of the table, not the bottom now. Was his arm twisted backwards there? Look at this again.
They just seem to use the arm as a bit of a lever to pull him down. Is it against the range of motion? They certainly pulled back out of its normal function, isn't it? So we may well see a penalty here.
Ryan Hinchcliffe maybe having a bit of a tug on the arm.
All right. Skipper. Captain. Right.
And the referee wants a word with
Dan, come here, listen.
the captains.
Listen. When we tackle one, because we're not sure the severity of it, when we tackle one, that the incident is going to go on report, we'll look at it. All right, no, it's not a penalty, no. Here we are. Because I can, that's the rules, end of story. There.
Doesn't have any messing about, Ben Taylor, does he? Why didn't you give us a penalty then? Is it because I can? That's the rules, end of story. Let's get on with it. Doesn't mess about, Ben Taylor. Love it the way he talks to the players. But the incident is on report. Now they'll get a penalty.
Well, he's been busy over the last couple of weeks with his card, Ben Taylor, but he took a cool, calm decision. He didn't see it properly.
All right, then, let's go.
Play on. And the penalty now, and Hull KR will try and make the way upfield. Field position will be very good for them.
This set will begin just inside their own half, and Thomas Minns will get them over the halfway on tackle number 1. And you can see the amount of pressure that Huddersfield have had. 19 play the balls in the opposition half as opposed to just 1 from Hull KR, but Hull KR have scored 2 tries. This will be the 3rd play the ball inside the opposition half now. Then we've had 2 this set. This is Maguire, drops the pass off to Mulhern, and Mulhern gets them inside the red zone. Lawler down that channel again. Maguire with the kick, it ricochets off the legs and Maguire is off, but he realised quickly he wasn't going to go the length of the field. Not at 35 years young.
Well, Danny Maguire is really making a beeline whenever the Hull KR have got the ball for where Danny Brough is. Seems to be a battle of the 2 old stages, the 2 Dannys.
Yeah, I noticed in the 2 tries that Rovers have scored, they've been running straight at Danny Brough. Here now, though, it's Huddersfield who are in possession with their try scorer, Oliver Roberts. Mulhern just over halfway. Hinchcliffe, big hit. Goes down on tackle number 5, just inside the Hull KR half. Good kick from Gaskell. It's hanging. Quinlan deals with it. Oh, was Gaskell taken out there by Carney?
Well, he's appealing, isn't he, to the referee, to the touch judges. And Adam Quinlan, fair play to the lad. He's been dealt some major kicks to deal with, hasn't he? And he seems to be just lapping those up.
This is Ryan Shaw. Here's the... No, he wasn't. No, he actually ran into the back of Justin Carney.
He can't get out the way, can he?
No.
If he moves one way or another, Eddie, then he's in danger of giving a penalty away.
It's a long way around him as well, isn't it, Justin Carney?
He just stood his ground, didn't he? Greenwood plays the ball. Lawler. Kick all the way down the line, and it's a great kick as well. It will not find touch. And that means that Jordan Rankin has to bring the ball out, but only as far as that man Carney again with a vicious vicious is not the right word, but you know what I mean. A big challenge.
A big challenge. Nice structured set from Hull KR. A nice kick as well.
McGilvray is hurt
from
now.
Chris Atkin, yeah. And one thing that Chris Atkin will recognise, that he doesn't want to kick the ball directly to Jermaine McGilvray. Devastating when he's coming back. Made the most carries, meters and breaks for Huddersfield last year. And he said he had an amazing World Cup, a star of the World Cup. I think he's a star of the World Game, Eddie.
Well, he's got a bit of a smack in the face here. Maybe a stray finger or a thumb.
He catches one off Ben Kavanagh, doesn't he? Well, Ben Kavanagh's involved in a 2 or 3 man tackle. Jermaine McGilvray, you know you need to get your shoulder in. When he runs the ball, he's going to make you look foolish.
Slight break in play here. Let's just tell you what's coming up for you the rest of this week on the Super League here on Sky Sports. From the Betfred Super League, we've got Saints Leeds, current league leaders against the reigning champions tomorrow, 7:30 on Sky Sports Arena. And then on Saturday, the second home game inside a week for the Catalan Dragons. They take on Warrington. 4:55, Sky Sports action for that. Penalty here for Huddersfield.
Well, you picked him out earlier, Kumatai. It's causing Hull KR some problems. 3 players looking to turn him onto his back, keep him on his back. Work with each other, nice controlled play, but unfortunately, it's too much for the referee, Ben Thaler.
Chris Clarkson back in the side and topped the tackle count against the Catalan Dragons. 42 tackles he made. Here he comes again, Kumatai.
He's having a wowzer, him, isn't he?
Adam O'Brien at 9, he starts the game, but watch for Cruz Leeman, named in the England Knights, play with a tremendous future, and when he comes on, he'll change the rhythm of this game.
Danny Brough gets the pass away. Here is Adam O'Brien again, he's taking it himself. Oh, the ball is put to ground. That's a shame for Dale Ferguson, but it was a bullet pass into his chest, couldn't hang on to it.
Well, they picked that short side, didn't they? You can see all the Hull KR players jamming across, but it was a good shot from Ryan Short.
I think this was a pass aimed for Murphy.
Yeah, well, Ryan Short, he jammed in. I think Aaron Murphy had maybe had switched off Eddie. Gives it the lead runner, and Short had to be really good. I saw the break that he made earlier on Ferguson. When he gets the ball, he certainly doesn't give up.
Rick Stone just having a look at the replay of that, and Chris Thorman is alongside him. Well, last Friday we saw 2 of the 4 Aussie coaches in Super League going head-to-head, and Stephen Price and Justin Holbrook. Tonight, the other 2 face each other, Rick Stone and Tim Sheens. Sheens holds a 2-0 lead. His West beat Stone's Newcastle in 2010 and 2011, and at the moment, his Hull Kingston Rovers are 12-6 up. As Clarkson goes down.
Good leg drive there from Ben Kavanagh. Quick play of the ball as well.
This is Lawler.
He just seemed to miss the jump then, Lawler. Off the back of a quick play of the ball, all he needed to do was just tip that ball on.
Chris Atkin with a nice little kick over the top. Is this a possible 40-20? Well, he's taking no chances, Jordan Rankin, just in case it was.
Well, there definitely seems more urgency on the back of a kick from Chris Atkin. His teammates made it into a great kick, restricting those metres.
McGilvery again, takes 3 to bring him down. And O'Brien, into centre field it goes to Brough. Brough then spins it along the line to Ferguson.
It's now Huddersfield that seem to have lost the way a bit. Do you know, he's a good player, Ryan Hinchcliffe.
He is, that's a big hit on him though. It's the same by Ben Kavanagh. And here now goes Paul Clough. He's just on the field and off the bench. O'Brien again to Brough, high again. What's the chase like this time? It's a deep kick, it's a great kick. It's well dealt with by the Hull KR full-back Adam Quinlan.
Then recognises that he runs into his own teammate. Ryan Short, he had to give himself up. You can see he catches the ball, he turns around, runs straight into his teammate, drops to his knees.
Clarkson tackled by Brough. Hull KR trying to work this ball away from their own quarter of the field.
They're going to go wide here, Eddie. They're going to try something here now. Look, they're sick of going down the middle. They've shifted it to Carney.
Defence shuttles across though, and Kumatai and co get to him. Kick for territory all along the deck. Good stuff from Atkin.
Well, it's possibly as a result of a great game Chris Atkin had on this pitch last year, but playing for Swinton in the Cup. But he's now here playing in Super League. I think his performance that day and in several other games for Swinton highlighted some of the clubs to his potential. He's been impressive the way he started this season for Hull KR.
A good lesson and all for those players who perhaps go down to Championship, wonder if they're ambitious players, wonder if there's a pathway back up. Some of those traditional clubs, they give that platform, and if Super League clubs are looking and they think they're of the right standard, they'll give it an opportunity.
And Kavanagh withdrawn. Tommy Lee comes on for Hull KR.
Go, George, think about where you put your arm. Come on, good lad.
So it's Huddersfield's turn now to try and get up the other end of the field. Lee with his first tackle. Murphy. And Paul Clough.
He's another player who was good last week against Widnes, averaged 9 metres per carry. Paul Clough.
Hinchcliffe gets the ball away. Here they come again. Rankin is tackled by Atkin. Ukumatai once more. Ty will play the ball. That was O'Brien. There is Gaskell. Little dink up into the air, claimed by Justin Carney. He was then claimed by Paul Clough.
Well, that had to be good communication at the back then between Quinlan and Justin Carney. I think everyone was looking at where Danny Bruffwood's position. Was it going to be going over to Huddersfield left? And that's when Lee Gaskell turns up and puts the ball on top of that man, Justin Carney.
Solid enough run from James Greenwood. Plays the ball to Tommy Lee. Go down that right-hand side again. Lawler.
It just seems it's fell into a game of chess over the last 10 minutes. Neither side wanting to make mistakes.
Maguire looking to do something down that right-hand side again. Goes down, tackle number 5. Lee, again, down the short side. It's not a bad little kick, this. It'll stay in the field of play. They were hunting it, but Aaron Murphy dealing with the threat.
And more of an attacking kick, Eddie, not going for distance, putting it into space, in between the winger and the fullback, leaving it on the ground, slippy conditions. Either player, the fullback or the winger, had to get on the ground, and then maybe Hull KR were hoping they could force him off the pitch. Here's Jermaine McGilvray from the right up to centre field with a strong carry.
Oh, he was looking for a penalty, it was not forthcoming.
But again, it's what comes on the back of every time Jermaine McGilvray carries the ball.
Bryan gets it away to Gaskell. Gaskell goes to the air. Again, good chase. Carney deals with the situation once more.
Well, dealing with everything. Again, good communication at the back. Quinlan, Carney. They need to either kick the ball behind them, ask more questions, because every time that they seem to, apart from one occasion, running onto the ball, they're just taking those kicks nice and easy.
Here's big Nick Scruton now. And Blair spreads it wide. Atkin gets Carney involved. Good man to pull down, but Hinchcliffe with a very good tackle. Quick play the ball though. Quinlan again. Into centre field it goes via Lawler to Maguire. There is Clarkson. They're coming down this right-hand side again. This time Bruff gets to Andrew Heffernan with help from Dale Ferguson. Down he goes. Last tackle coming up then for Hull KR, and it's with Maguire off the outside of the right boot into centre field. Claimed though by Jordan Turner, and Turner was nudged in the air, so that's deemed to be a foul. It's a penalty to Huddersfield Giants.
And that's all it takes, Eddie, for all that hard work. Chris Atkin done a really good job. He got a couple of Huddersfield defenders fixed. He drops the ball off into Justin Carney. They make good metres on the left-hand side. They get Huddersfield where they want them, 7 metres from the line, and they just aren't disciplined enough to just let the man who's catching the ball find his feet and then come up with the tackle.
Dale Ferguson is having some treatment on the run by the looks of things. Let's get some injury news. We go to the sideline again, Bill.
Yeah, Dale Ferguson is down. Sam Wood is off at the moment for the Giants. Sam Wood has had a couple of bangs and is off as a concussion replacement at the moment. And this is one of them. There were 2 in quick succession, according to the Giants sideline team. And so they've taken him off, and he is being assessed at the moment. And Mossy Massoy has been off for a while as well. It turns out that is also concussion assessment. We saw him go down that tackle that was put on report by the referee, and something associated with that. Mossy Massoy is still off.
Yes, Mossy Massoy watching from the sideline. Brian gets the ball away. And Paul Clough will cart the ball forward once again. 10 metres inside Rovers' half of the field.
Good hunting from Tommy Lee. Really does a job on young Tyler Dickinson.
Ball is loose.
Well, I think Danny Bruff was expecting someone to come really short on his shoulder. He was going at the defensive line, trying to isolate a defender, creating some space. Again, good defence from Hull KR.
And once more, but I think then there was a Hull Kingston Rovers defender offside. It was a kick through, ricocheted off the feet of the defender, and the man in front just couldn't resist.
Well, it's the correct decision, isn't it, from the referee? You can see the ricochet there, and then Scruton stood in front of Blair.
Yeah, it was Maurice Blair that got the foot to it, and then Nick Scruton, well, he couldn't hang around, could he? He couldn't have a debate about it. He knew he had to do something.
I think the Giants' attacking play in the last 10 minutes is been pretty average, hasn't it? They've been single carries, one-man efforts. They need to start playing a bit more rugby.
Here's that man, Tyler Dickinson, 21 years of age. Mark Stone anxiously watching on as he plays the ball to O'Brien. O'Brien then finds Gaskell. Gaskell gets it away once again. There's no way through for Roberts this time. O'Brien, Clough, Scruton doing well in defence with Blair. O'Brien once again so close to the line, but again they've coughed the possession up. Here goes Maurice Blair, he gives the pass away. Thomas Minns is off. Good job that Brough was quick enough to get him down.
That's real poor play from Huddersfield, close to Hull KR's line.
Maguire now for Rovers.
Well, they've got to be better than that. You don't get many opportunities in a game. That was just too easy.
Chance for Clarkson, that's a knock on. It's going to be 6 to go, it is. The referee wipes the tackle count down. Here is Clarkson again, down that right-hand side. They've made hay down there for their 2 tries. Had just over half an hour gone. They're leading by 6 points, looking for more here with Lee. Lee who gets the ball then into James Donaldson. Good to see him back in the side tonight. One of Rugby League's unluckiest players is Donaldson. Scruton gets to within 6-7 metres of the Huddersfield line. They've gone from one end of the field to the other with a bit of help from a wiped tackle count, of course. Maguire again, Atkin and Minns. He had Carney on his shoulder if he could have got the ball out to him. Quinlan, the dummy half. Here's Atkin again, and Blair will take it forward. 4 tackles gone, says referee Ben Thaler. Couple left then. Lee comes down the short side. Atkin, nice kick in towards the in-goal area. It's hanging around all over the place. And a good job that Rankin was there to take the ball over the dead ball line. But has the referee seen something?
Adam Quinlan, I'm sure Eddie was taken out. He fell to the ground as he ran through. Was he impeded?
We just want to check, though, to make sure that nobody was taken out.
So he's just asking James Child, tonight's video referee, to have a quick look at this, although he has put it up as a no try. Surely, Stuart, the penalty try is not in the equation.
It does give the possibility if somebody's taken out on the way through. They've prevented them from scoring a possible try. So that's basically what they're looking at. Still has the opportunity to give a penalty for any form of obstruction. The first check is that they're all onside from the kick. Well, there seems to be some contact with Quinlan, with both players.
Paul Clough, I think it is. He just gets himself in the road, in the way, makes a step towards. Is it enough?
Well, I think Quinlan is certainly blocked on his way through. Whether it had got to the ground, the ball is another matter. So I think the no try will probably stand.
But it'll be a penalty.
But I think it should be a penalty to the Hull Kingston Rovers.
This gets the red light, no try, no chance of a penalty try.
Always been a strength for Chris Atkin at his kicking game. Close to the line, he's done very well.
Well, he's getting a goal line drop out here.
It's crazy, that. It's crazy. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty try. He'd have got to the in-goal area to ground the ball.
Well, they've obviously deemed there was no foul play. Is that the case?
Well, that's the only reason we could have a goal line dropout.
So off the ground into the arms of Justin Carney from the dropout. Hull KR will come again, but from halfway. Tommy Lee, Mossy Massoy, back out there now. After his check on the concussion. And Hinchcliffe all over the top of him. They'll surely take 2 points here.
Well, that's the challenge. The 2 replacement front rowers, Dickinson and Clough, have to match the size, power and intensity of the counterparts in the Hull KR ranks. And I think Massoy is too big and too strong on that occasion.
When he runs, Eddie, and when he tucks the ball under his wing, he's devastating. He's big, he's powerful. I said last week, wasn't good enough. Wasn't enough meters made, wasn't enough carries from him. When he does that and picks out a defender, doesn't deviate from that defender and gets over the top of him, he will cause trouble and he'd cause his side to get a penalty.
Well, he's got the penalty here as Masoi, and so the chance then for Ryan Shaw to add to the total. 7 minutes from half-time, as you can see. And this would mean that Huddersfield have to score at least twice. Bang in front, exactly 20 metres out. Should be 14-6 in a second or two. And indeed it is. So Rovers, having gone 6-0 down, have hit Huddersfield Giants with 14 unanswered points, and their supporters will be well pleased. He won't be.
Well, he might consider himself a little lucky that they weren't penalised further. I know they've conceded 2 points there, but that could have easily been 6 points there with it. You know, we often see Paul Clough impeding or blocking the kit chase and running through. Penalties given a lot for that now by officials, and I'm surprised that that one wasn't.
Deep kick-off from Danny Brough, fielded by Atkin. Here comes the big fellow again.
Let's not forget, Eddie, they put themselves in that position because they were poor up near Hull KR's line. When they turned the ball over, far too easy.
It's a remarkable turnaround because the opening 10 minutes, Huddersfield were hunting, chasing, kicking.
They were still resting up from the trip back home from Catalan.
Good ball from Mossy Masoi. Great little offload that was from Maurice Blair. Brought down by Jermaine McGilvray. Here's Tommy Lee. This is Atkin. Atkin, he knew he was heading for the sideline, so decided to come back the other way. Roberts got to him. Lee again. Here's Scruton. And Lee has just pointed down the left-hand side, as that's where they're going, and that's where they are going with Atkin. And he puts the ball into touch as well.
Doesn't he seem to grow with confidence? Every game that we've seen him this year on Sky Sports, he does like to take control. Nice kick, knows exactly what he's doing, wants to get the ball off the field. Considering he's got a player like Danny Maguire playing alongside him in the halves, he's certainly not scared of overcalling the play.
The NRL, as you will know already, is back on Sky Sports this year, and tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning on Sky Sports Arena we have the Roosters against the Bulldogs, Sydney Roosters against Canterbury, and we have a double header for you as normal on the Friday morning. Brisbane and North Queensland, that's a little bit tasty. 8:45 on the same channel. They have forced another error here, have Hull Kingston Rovers. It's a knock-on from McGilvray right inside the danger zone.
It's James Donaldson right round the ankles. And you're right to give him raps, James Donaldson. He's had so much bad luck. Out with an ACL, that's the latest of his injuries. He played one game for York, and let me tell you, coming back from those injuries, major injuries, it's not just your physical state, it's your mental state. Credit James Donaldson. He's got stuck in so far.
Yes, his 10th season in the game, but he hasn't made it to 150 appearances yet, James Donaldson. And the ball was out of the scrum at the back.
Old style move, Eddie. He wanted the scrum to just split.
And it did.
And Tommy Lee go up the middle.
Now then a chance here then. And it's, once again, it's that man Donaldson.
Look at that. He's not the biggest. 4 players around him, though.
He's going to be told to play the ball. 3 or 4 metres away from the line. They're not onside, the Huddersfield defenders. This is Atkin. Back it goes.
Brilliant.
Lovely kick. Brilliant. Lovely try. Ryan Shaw. Quinlan with the kick to the corner. Ryan Shaw with the try. The referee hasn't given it yet because he's got a report from the far side of the field about something from his touch judge. They've decided they're going to go for a try, I think, on the field. Not given yet.
We're going to try. We're just checking for an obstruction in back play. Find out either.
Well, Danny Maguire's given his decision. He knows. He believes it's a try.
It's a bad read in defence. I don't think there's a problem here.
Well, certainly on first look, it looked fine. One of the touch judges has seen something they don't quite like, so we're just checking it. Obviously, it's coming from a kick, so at some point in it, well, the pass is behind, and there's no one involved at all there. So it's fine there. Defensive decision.
It's brilliant
on that one, and a kick through. They're onside from the kick. If the grounding's fine, this will be confirmed, and it looks fine there. So no obstruction, and they're onside from the kick, and the grounding looks good.
So it looks like this is going to be a try, another one for Hull Kingston Rovers. and indeed it is. Try is given. So Shaw is making a real mark on this game. He's kicking well, and he's now got a 4-pointer. 3 minutes from half-time. 18-6, kick to come. Will he kick this one?
Well, McGilvray next the mistake. Donaldson, Scruton involved in that tackle. And Adam Quinlan, well, he's having a blinder, isn't he? Look at this. He recognises space. He recognises there's some wrong reads in from those Huddersfield defenders. They jam in, they pull the trigger, they leave some space out wide. And Quinlan knows that if he can come up with a well-weighted kick, there could certainly be a try on. And look at that. Good play, Ryan Shaw. Good confidence, and there's the coach's reaction.
He's got greater imagination than I think any other coach possibly in this competition, because what every team does, they pass it behind one decoy runner to another player behind him. They did something different there, didn't they? No team, I can't recall seeing a team attempt to do what they've just done, make it look so simple and yet be so effective.
Ryan Shaw had the extras. Yes, he can. Well, I know that we're a long, long way away from announcing the candidates for tonight's Man of the Match award, but Ryan Shaw is catching the eye.
I think he's being helped by the pivots and the decision makers. I don't think for 1 minute they've practiced putting a kick at the end, but the minute that the decision was made and Alex Mellor comes in, the space created and the skill set of Adam Quinlan, and ultimately the try score is good enough.
Eddie, you can't have robots in the game of rugby league who just go out and do the same job time after time, because it's easy for the defence to read. What's good about his players who play, looking up, seeing what's in front of them, and that's exactly what Quinlan, Maguire, Atkin are doing.
And that's what they didn't do last week against Catalan Dragons. They got near their opponent's line too many times not to come away with points. It cost them the game in the end.
Well, Huddersfield have really flown under the radar this year, and Rick Stone, he's been here almost 2 years now. He's out of contract at the end of this season, and he's talked this week about that, and he's hoping to get the results which would mean that his stay is enhanced. But this isn't the best 40 minutes that his team have had. And that is a great kick. And he did his best, did Jordan Rankin, but he's trapped in goal. And it's Ryan Shaw again who led the way and took one for his team then.
So we're doing a lot of talking about Chris Atkin over here on the left. What about Danny Maguire? Fourth play, kicks for distance. He's hoping to keep it in the field of play. Look at this, excellent. And look at the defence here. Heffernan, Shaw, really putting the bodies on the line and making sure that Rankin's got nowhere to go. Even though he gets low, he's trying to slide over the try line, get back in the field of play. He couldn't do that.
Been here before, Danny Maguire, hasn't he? He has been here before. Doesn't mind this ground. Seen of a couple of stellar performances from him. Remember,
it was his kick for Ryan Hall's try.
Ryan Hall try in the corner, yes. I'm thinking a couple of cup games on this ground as well, semi-finals. He's caught the eye. Drop goal attempt here from that man Maguire. Just wide. Rick Stone on his way downstairs. He has a lot of talking to do. Started brightly, 10 minutes. After that, well, I don't know whether they switched off the kettle, but it certainly went off the boil. And Hull Kingston Rovers turn round at half-time, leading by 20 points to 6. Roberts try in the 7th minute. Brough added the goal, and they looked well set. Did the Huddersfield Giants, but after 13 minutes, Heffernan's try equalised things, courtesy of Ryan Shaw's conversion. 2 minutes later, Quinlan was over. Shaw improved again, 16-12. Then a penalty goal from Shaw, and then a try from the same man, and another conversion. 3 minutes from half-time, 20 points to 6. Hull Kingston Rovers, they're catching the eye.
People often use mouthwash for pleasant breath, but it's a fact that minty flavours only mask bad breath. CB12 is different. Its patented formula significantly reduces bad breath and helps its recurrence for up to 12 hours, so close moments can be truly enjoyed. CB12 mouthwash, my choice for pleasant breath. Now half price at your local Boots.
When it comes to love, what's normal? Normal isn't normal. Love doesn't care about gender. or where you're from. Love won't judge you on ability or so-called disability. It won't age, fade, or hold a grudge when you mess up and burn the burger buns. Here's to every kind of love and every kind of special night in. McCain, we are family.
At Expedia, you can book your flight, hotel, car hire and activities all in one place. Expedia, atoll protected.
Batiste Dry Shampoo is the quick and easy way to instantly refresh your hair between washes. Simply spray, massage and brush. For hair that is refreshed with added body and great texture, so you have time to boss the morning routine. Yes, you can. Batiste Dry Shampoo.
Family life's always been important to me, and as someone who's worked in the city for many years, I understand the importance of saving.
I'm Nicola Horlick, CEO of Money & Co, a peer-to-peer lending platform with an innovative finance ISA. You'll lend directly to British companies that we have selected, and you could earn a completely tax-free target return of over 7%.
Your capital is at risk and your investment will not be covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme.
Wake up your money with Money & Co.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Eagle One. We have a problem.
Don't panic. I'll see what the internet says. Money back as a free bet if your horse loses. Available on the first and last race every day during the Cheltenham Festival. Yes, let's have a piece of the action.
We're breaking up!
I tell you what, I rate our chances.
Oh,
For the love of the game, Betway.
Ready? The mood instantly changes.
Hello, I'm Alex Crawford.
Fear is a very important part of it.
Go on, Jake.
The thing that really struck you was just how sort of noisy it was.
Witnessing it will be something that will live with me for a long time.
I never thought I would see this.
These are the first few minutes of a new presidency.
I'm living history.
Sense of expectation.
Really shocking.
Euphoric.
It's hard not to be moved by that.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
We've got rugby union and football coming up for you on Sky Sports over the next couple of days. The day before, the men go into action at Twickenham. England ladies take on Ireland ladies, 5 p.m. on Sky Sports Action. That's the Women's Six Nations. You wonder how fired up Ireland will be following the revelation of Eddie Jones's comments during the week. Saturday, the race for the Premiership is well heating up. There are 9 games left. And Fulham take on QPR midday, Sky Sports Football. And then on Saturday, the second match that we're going to bring you at 5:15 start is Bolton against Aston Villa. One game on Sunday. Second place Cardiff travel to take on Derby. That's at 11:30 a.m. again on Sky Sports Football. We're at the John Smith Stadium in Huddersfield, and at half-time the home side trail by 14 points. Remember, going into this match, Hull Kingston Rovers with just one win in their opening 5 rounds in their return to the Betfred Super League. Well, they're good value for this 14-point half-time lead. Well, there were question marks going into this match, John Wells, as to how Hull Kingston Rovers would respond physically from their trip down to the south of France. Of course, lost that match. Short turnaround for this game. Some of the players did say, though, the game comes at a perfect time for us mentally to get ready. They're well worth this half-time lead, but didn't have it all their own way. Went behind, and Huddersfield, for the first 10 minutes, I suppose, dominated that match.
Yeah, I think maybe Tim Sheens and the rest of the coaching staff were wondering whether it was the right decision after the first 10 minutes as to whether they're giving them that many days off and whether that was going to work, because I think Huddersfield enjoyed the benefit of territory and possession for that opening 10 minutes. That culminated in the first try of the game for Ollie Roberts, but it didn't take them long to get into a rhythm. I think it starts from some really determined and some accurate ruck running from forwards. We'll get an example of that shortly, and then some beautiful combinations, particularly between Adam Quinlan and Andy Heffernan on that right edge for Hull KR. I think they've been very impressive.
Ryan Shaw's 36-minute try was preceded by a penalty that he kicked. Mossy Masoya being awarded a penalty by the referee Ben Thaler. We're going to look in depth now at the back-to-back tries that Hull Kingston Rovers scored. Rick Stone shouldn't have been surprised that Tim Sheens and James Webster would throw some trick plays at them. He said it pre-match that you would expect the unexpected from these two coaching, two very intelligent coaches, ultimately experienced Tim Sheens. This particular one, the first one, Andrew Heffernan's try, John, talk us through this one, why it was so difficult to defend for Huddersfield.
Straight from a tap, training ground move, no doubt about that. When you look back at this, and when they look back at this in the training, in the video review, they'll see a couple of tells, and that'll be, if you keep your eye on Ryan Shaw once we start this, he backpedals and gets himself into position. That doesn't normally happen if you made your way upfield and it's just going, the ball's going to be going into this area of the field for the first tackle. Also, have a look at the depth of this man, who's the eventual try scorer. Now, there's one or two things. He's either injured, off the pace, or there's something happening. Now, you know, it's a lot really for these guys to compute, and the guys we're talking about, obviously, Aaron Murphy and Danny Brough. That said, there's some real smart stuff here as well. Aaron Murphy and Danny Brough are 2 of 4 players who are going to be challenged on this short side. The first 2 switch off. That's understandable, given that 90% of these players go open. What Hull KR do incredibly well is with the reverse here of Chris Atkin, they create a 5-on-4. There's going to be 4 players on this short side. If Atkin can engage Ferguson, they will... Basically, this all boils down to if Atkin can engage Ferguson, they'll have a man over. You watch how this unfolds. So first of all...
Danny Brough is thinking there's nothing coming back his way on that left-hand side.
There you go, walking first of all.
But around about now, he's going to start thinking that something's going to unfold in front of him.
And this is the key part. All Atkin needs to do, which he's done here, he's come round on that switch play. All he needs to do is engage this man. And because of Quinlan's actions going out here, they're going to have a man over. What happens after that is down to individual brilliance. I think Heffernan's feet here are fantastic. Quinlan and Heffernan have worked extremely well together. This is a nice early step. This is even better. That's beautiful. Well deserving of that try. That's the try that drew them level on 14 minutes, and then a minute later they go again, this time from much deeper. That carry was decent. Have a look at the angles they're hitting here. These are these uncompromising lines we were talking about. Look at Mulhern first. Straight in, back in around the ruck. The eventual result of this, once Kavanagh takes the same one, again, same sort of area, is you're going to get someone who's stood around that ruck late.
We've got back-to-back elbows, knees, quick play the balls. Huddersfield, massive disadvantage now.
They are. They've got people retreating, not an awful lot of communication going on, and a side on the other side of the ball here that's ready to go on this short side. Again, this is really the key. When you see someone wheeling around like this, he's at a call from his full-back, they know they're going to be short on that short side. Have a look at Clarkson. Clarkson knows now, again, with a beautiful break, that if he gets to Danny Brough, he's going to give Heffernan a chance. I'm going to take that back ever so slightly because I want to show you Heffernan's break. Keep your eyes on this man. It's really well timed. This is what I'm talking about, his feet. Well, as we run it on, keep just there. Late break. Clarkson's got the ball up, so Danny Brough has got to account for him, and then Adam Quinlan really makes up the yards from the base of the ruck where he's been hiding. I think the interplay between those two and that dominance down that right edge has put them in a position which they very much deserve at half-time.
They'll be looking for their second Super League win of the season. Huddersfield were hoping for back-to-back wins. They were good against Huddersfield, and even in defeat in some other games this year, particularly the St Helens one here, they showed plenty. Have you seen anything, or have you seen enough in that first 40 minutes to suggest to you that Rick Stone and his men can come back into this game and win this match?
They seem to have a very good plan A, and when plan A works, that's fine, isn't it? Plan A obviously revolves around Danny Brough. I'd like to see Lee Gaskell start to become a genuine threat on the other side of that ruck, because it is pretty obvious where those attack plays are going to be going. Everything goes through Brough. The kick plays go through Brough. They really favour that left-hand edge. If they can bring Gaskell into that game a little more, they'll give Adam Quinlan and that defensive Hull KR line a little more to think about. It's a bit predictable at the moment.
OK, you need to pose more threat, says John Wells. Rick Stone and Chris Thorman will be plotting just that now in the dressing rooms here at the John Smith Stadium. They trail by 14 points against the Hull Kingston Rovers side, who went behind. Rick Stone's men scoring first, 6-0. But Tim Sheens, James Webster have engineered a winning position after the first 40 minutes of this game. Webster just to the left of Tim Sheens there, discussing with Danny Maguire. Two very intelligent players and experienced players. They are in the box seat at half-time. Round 6 of the Betfred Super League is up and running in Huddersfield. The home side are trailing at half-time. 40 minutes to get back into this. They trail by 14. Eddie and the commentary team standing by the other side of this break.
Big chase on him, Luke Gay with a drop goal! He has kicked it!
Do you want to bring it here? Yeah.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of abduction.
Can you tell me the last time you saw your daughter, Mr. Rudd? She was 3 last time I saw her. You think this could be me?
Please give her back.
I don't know if you're anywhere near, or if I'm anywhere nearer to you. I am coming for you.
If you spit blood, you may have gum disease and could be on a journey to much worse. Help stop the journey of gum disease. Switch to Corsadil toothpaste. It's 4 times more effective at removing the main cause of bleeding gums. For healthy gums and strong teeth, help leave bleeding gums behind. Corsadil Ultra Clean.
I love learning as much as I can. Everything I do, I'm inspired by nature. My name is Brooke. I'm an artist in the film industry. I spend a lot of time researching texture references. Bing's this amazing feature. You zoom in and it comes up with a bunch of related images. How exciting is that? Save this image, mood board on the go. Did dinosaurs have feathers? Hot topic. I've asked it a question and it's given me an intelligent answer. That is going to be very, very useful.
Skechers Sport with memory foam.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Eagle 1. We have a problem.
Don't panic. I'll see what the internet says. Money back as a free bet if your horse loses. Available on the first and last race every day during the Cheltenham Festival.
Yes, let's have a piece of the action.
We're breaking up!
I tell you what, I rate our chances.
Oh,
For the love of the game, Betway.
Here at Enterprise, we have a huge range of cars, vans, and luxury models.
So no matter what you confusing Brits do on the weekend, we've got a vehicle for you.
Need to move some stuff?
We're gonna burn this guy in a bonfire and dance around the flames.
Nothing makes sense here.
So whatever vehicle you need, we've got it. It's UK Car Hire.
With US customer service.
In this world, you can be whoever you want. I think there may be something wrong with this world. Something hiding underneath. I think there may be something wrong with this world.
Watch every episode of the critically acclaimed Westworld before Season 2 begins. Available now on Sky Box Sets.
Them perhaps weave a little bit of magic. Great game this morning from the NRL. 2 more coming for you tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning. If you're up and about early, the Roosters against the Canterbury Bulldogs on the Sky Sports Arena and the main event, and same channels at 8:45 for Brisbane against North Queensland. Here at the John Smith Stadium, the Huddersfield Giants are ready to kick off this second half, and they need a response because Hull Kingston Rovers, having weathered an early storm of 10 minutes when Huddersfield took the lead, they have bossed the show. And it's a 14-point advantage that they have.
Go, Oliver, nice and quick!
And, you know, both of these clubs have come a long, long way since they met in the inaugural Buddies Cup final. It was later called the Northern Rail Cup at Featherstone in 2002. Oh, That's a penalty.
That's got to be a bit more than a
Time
penalty,
off.
isn't it?
Takes his head off.
Oh! And he gets the ball first, doesn't he? So that's probably going to help him.
No, yeah.
Well, the high shot from Tyler Dickinson certainly won't help them out.
Come on.
You know, when you saw the shots from the dressing rooms, I thought I was going to see an animated Rick Stone. He was quite calm. I thought he was going to be giving the players a bit of a rocket. The way they started, they were good, and then all of a sudden the wheels seemed to fall off.
Here's Maurice Blair now for Hull Kingston Rovers, taking that first drive, 12 metres inside the Huddersfield half of the field. Lee just hangs on, gives it then to Scruton. Scruton is brought to ground by 2. Making progress, though, every time they have the ball in hand, Hull KR. This is Thomas Minns now. Another 10 metres gained by Rovers. 3 tackles gone, 31 metres gained in those 3. This is Danny Maguire spreading it wide. Atkin gives it then further wide, and Heffernan, they had to hold on to his shirt tails, and he just about managed it, did Sam Wood. Shaw into centre field it comes, and this is Greenwood. Greenwood dropped on tackle number 5, just about 7 metres away from the Giants line. And it's Quinlan, gets it wide to Heffernan. Sam Wood does a good job on him, brings him down. That'll be the turnover, 5 metres away from Huddersfield's own line. Right, let's get half-time news. Bill Arthur.
Giants coach Rich Stone will be satisfied with the outcome of that first assault on the Giants line by Hull Kingston Rovers. Defensive tightness is something he was looking forward to. Big area of concern, though, for the Giants coach is the ruck. They're getting outplayed there by Hull Kingston Rovers. They need to get more numbers in there. They need to make a better fist of that area, and if they can do that, then they can turn this round. They certainly believe that. 40 minutes to go, and don't panic is the verdict from Rick Stone in the Giants camp. Tim Sheens, Hull Kingston Rovers, very satisfied, certainly with the half hour after that opening 10 minutes when they really were up against it by the Giants, and Hull Kingston Rovers carrying on doing what they did so well thereafter is the request from the Robins coach.
Well, they have to run the ball away from their own line now, courtesy of Ryan Shaw. And Justin Carney is in behind him at dummy half. Puffs the cheeks out. Gets as far as the 2 defenders chasing him down. Dale Ferguson all over the top of him, with a little bit of help from Tyler Dickinson as well. Again, Ferguson involved in the third challenge. Second in quick succession from him. Lee to Maguire, and here's Mossy Massoy.
Well, Cruz Lehman, the man who's on top of Mossy Massoy, certainly added some line speed to this side.
Inside the 40, this is a 40-20 possibility here. And he just manages to stop it, does Jordan Rankin. Thought on a greasy surface as well, with the rain just tumbling down, the drizzle. Thought it might have spun out of play, but it didn't. Huddersfield would be pleased about that. Oh, that's a high shot from Heffernan. Felt that, did Aaron Murphy.
We talked about Murphy in the first half, how good he is at returning the ball. You can see he just accelerates into the tackle, and Heffernan gets that challenge wrong. The timing wasn't there, and Murphy keeps his feet, doesn't play for the penalty. The referee spotted it.
Yeah, Nick Scruton is getting some treatment on an ankle by the looks of things. You mentioned, Terry, Aaron Murphy. It's his 150th Huddersfield appearance. He is a match winner. He's scored 69 tries for the club. He's been very quiet tonight. Hull KR have kept him quiet.
Yeah, he's a very good player once he gets going. And when they started the game, Huddersfield, Murphy was in the action, McGillivray was in the action. We were talking about the man who's kicking the ball out, Danny Brough, and all of a sudden 30 minutes to go in the first half, they just took the game to them. Hull KR certainly outplayed them.
And just to expand on the point that John Wells made at half-time, when his team gets in trouble, Danny Brough, as a natural leader, will stand to the front and he'll try and take charge and take control, and it's actually beneficial for the Giants when all 3 of those pivots share that responsibility because it becomes too predictable.
Well, the Huddersfield fans in front of us doing their best to lift their team as they continue this attack. Cruz leaning in there at dummy half. Gets the ball away to Ryan Hinchcliffe. Leaning again, 20 metres out. Lee Gaskell. Good defence once again.
Good spot, wasn't it, from Thomas Mins?
Leeming. And Gaskell stabs the ball through, appeals for a penalty for obstruction. It's not forthcoming. Ball turned back on the inside. Here goes Danny Maguire. Pulled down by Hinchcliffe.
Again, nice and clean at the back, Adam Quinlan. He's not really putting much pressure on himself, is he? The kick, when it came through from Gaskell, it was at the line. He comes across, he picks it up. So he's doing a very good job dealing with most things.
Moshi Masoi stands and plays the ball. That's Greenwood again, just over halfway. Tommy Lee, into centre field it goes to Atkin. Invites the run. There's a hand on the shoulder then from Ferguson. So no penalty for Donaldson. Kick over the top, good kick too. That's the sort of kick off the turf I thought they might have got for the attempted 40-20 a few moments ago. Tommy Lee's kick, though, just the right side of the corner post.
Well, that's what you get, isn't it, from Tommy Lee, the 30-year-old. He's played at 8 clubs. He's certainly been around.
He's played for 8 clubs. They haven't got that many clubs in the golf bag. Tommy Lee.
Keep it going, boys.
Because you're not that good, Eddie, to be fair.
You're right there as well.
But he is a good player, Tommy Lee.
Nomadic career he's had, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Began with Hull way back in 2005. Took in a stint at Saints, of course, last year.
Okay, let's bang, guys. Danny, I'll tell you when. Dan, I'll tell you when.
Now part of the story that's developing with Hull Kingston Rovers. Referee unhappy, Ben Taylor, with the way that scrum was formed. So here we go. And it's Murphy. Struggles to his feet, and more of a struggle because there's a hand in the ruck.
And the second penalty that he's earned in this second half, Murphy. Again, he won't give up. He's still battling to play the ball, walks forward into Donaldson. Donaldson's still got his hand on the ball. That's why the referee gives the penalty away.
Leeming trying to get the Giants up to halfway here. They play the ball from Jordan Turner. Drive in by Paul Clough. There goes Leeming again. Looks for the runners. Dickinson.
James, look at me, please. Wait. Go three.
Now Hinchcliffe finds Gaskell. Gaskell then gets the pass away to Jordan Turner.
Give me, please. Go for.
Good run. Mossy Masoy's missed him. Leeming into centre field, 10 metres out, right in front of the post. Could be getting a penalty here if they don't get off him quickly. They do in the end. Hinchcliffe, Brough will stab the kick into the in-goal area. I think that evaded everybody.
I think there's
Ryan Shaw,
a play here, Eddie.
Ryan Shaw kicks it
Time
off.
We have a goal
Good
line
meters
drop
made.
out.
Good ruck
Just
speed.
confirm that,
At some
James,
point,
please.
Icky Heathorpe and Akuma Tai will come back on for the Giants.
We'll go and do it. I'm just checking.
Just checking to see who touches this ball last. So obviously it affects the restart. We've gone with the goal line dropout on the field. Does the ball bounce? Oh, he's played that before he went down. Goal line dropout it is. It's taken down. It was going to bounce, wasn't it? Outside the dead ball line.
Yes, it was Quinlan. And just to emphasise, Stuart, this ball has to hit the grass.
It has to hit the ground, yes.
Goal line dropout.
He's kicked it before it's hit the ground.
Good pressure from Ferguson, though, wasn't it? This time, saw what he could do with when he had the ball in the first half. He's putting pressure on Quinlan. He makes him play for that.
It
And
can't
with
be
Murphy
intentional.
coming in as
I
well.
don't know whether he's just pulling his foot around. His foot's on the floor. The ball hits his foot, and a stroke of good luck for the Giants.
They went for a very shallow goal line dropout, and Jordan Turner had to drop to the ground before Chris Atkin got to him. Now here comes McGilvray. They've done a good job on him as the Rovers defence tonight. Hinchcliffe drops the pass off again. Dickinson hangs on, but only just.
This is the big thing here now. They've got 3 players. What can they put on in terms of their attack?
Gaskell goes to the right-hand side. No way through for Jordan Turner. Leeming behind him. Gaskell again. Fires the pass to Brough. He showed it to one. He gave it then Oops, almost.
They have the
on
overlap.
the back. This is Leeming again, and Aaron Murphy dumps the ball back down. Kick to the in-goal area, and they're going to get another set of 6 here. It was a good kick in the end from Jordan Rankin.
They created the overlap over on that left side. Good reactions from Rankin, good chase as well, you see Clough and the tireless Hinchcliffe. Okay, I just need to get the ball. And again, when Danny Brough is selective about when he gets involved in the plays, when he gets involved in whatever Huddersfield is trying to do, that's the best side of Danny Brough.
And don't they look good when they put the ball through their hands, when it's nice and clean?
Gone for a bit more depth on this goal line dropout this time as Brough. Jermaine McGilvray traps it with the instep and then picks it up. Rides the first challenge from Scruton. Can't get away from Maurice Blair though. Good run from Nicky Heafo. This is more like it.
Outstanding work.
That's lifted the crowd and lifted the team. They're going to get excited here, they hope. Pass from Danny Brough finds Ferguson. Ferguson is grounded by the defenders. Tommy Lee all over the top of him. That was Rankin at dummy half. This is Leeming. He fires the ball to Gaskell. Here is Jordan Turner, picked up, dumped to the ground by Justin Carney. Leeming again down the short side. Good stuff, good on his feet from Oliver Roberts, looking for his second try. Who's Leeming? And Gaskell again. This is the last. Gaskell. Oh, is that a knock on by Quinlan? It was. There's good soccer skills there.
Well,
Huddersfield.
That's his first mistake, isn't it, in the game, Adam Quinlan? The kick from Gaskell, and just the attention really of Gaskell in his eye line. But look at this for a run. This is what you want when you come back on the field. Runs really hard. It's not the biggest thing for.
Well, you've got,
it's so powerful.
You've less than half an hour, you're 14 points behind, and you've got your third consecutive set, attacking your opponents on their line. This has to be the chance here that Huddersfield take if they have any aspirations of winning tonight.
You would think so, and Gaskell goes down the right-hand side again. This is Rankin.
Wait here, please. Wait. Go.
And gets to his feet and plays the ball. Here's that man, Nicky Heafo, once more. He's looking then to offload it to Leeming. Blair saw to it, the ball was clamped to his chest, so he'll play the ball to Leeming instead. Missed out Hinchcliffe, found Gaskell. Here is Paul Clough. There's Paul Clough. He's over the line. He's trying to get the ball down.
He's held up.
And the referee said he's held up, so the tackle count will continue 10 metres out.
Calm down.
Good effort, wasn't it, from Paul Clough? But what about the Terrier, Jay Donaldson?
Where there? What's going on here?
Really good effort to hold him up. And I think there's a problem. I'm not sure whether someone got hit off the ball.
Go away, Jordan.
Who's Leeming? It's the player getting some attention. He takes the ball to the defensive line, catches one for his trouble. Is it Massoya?
I think it was.
Well, Massoya's come over just to check how he is.
That's when it is.
There isn't much in it, but the player's relaxed. He's not expecting it.
It wasn't one of those like whiplash sort of tackles that we've seen.
Do you think that's a penalty?
No, there's no foul play in that. Not at all.
Tackle freeze held up. Wait, what I tell you,
The referee bringing the play back to this near side of the field where...
On the line, guys, please.
He's good at that, Ben Fairley. Never
Yes, he is.
overreacts, does it?
No.
Takes in the information and makes a decision.
Mind, he got 2 red cards out the other week.
He made his decision.
Back on, tackle.
Leaning then. A-OK gets the ball away and no way through. And Ferguson wants to get away from Greenwood. Greenwood wouldn't get away from him, so penalties forthcoming this time.
It's all about speed here. Cruz Leeming looking to bring Ikahihi forward to the ball here.
There he is.
They've had some possession, haven't they?
Well, they have. Is this the 4th? So it's a 6, and Brough has lost it.
That's a big, big tick in the box for Hull KR. They need to get to the end of the set here now. Can't make a mistake. They've got to be really good carrying the ball away, knowing that they've been challenged by Huddersfield, but they've really stuck up to him.
And you get a penalty. Okay, I'll get a penalty. I mean, Danny Brough needs to be better than that. Okay, it wasn't the best pass. It was off the ground. It's a greasy ball. It's a greasy service. He should have picked that up, though.
Yeah. Well, I said in the first half that teams gain confidence from scoring good tries. Hull KR did that in the first half. They also gain a lot of confidence and belief from defending their own try line. Was that 20-plus play the balls inside their own 20-metre zone where they've held out the Huddersfield Giants, who were pretty keen to score, fit, fresh, and really feeling pretty feisty. But that's pretty impressive for Hull KR. They've looked a decent side for almost 53, 55 minutes here tonight.
I wonder if that was the big moment of the game. If Hull Kingston Rovers go on and win this, will they look back at that set of tackles that they had coming at them, the fact they defended it so well?
Most definitely.
That is the key to their victory, if a victory it be.
As a player, you certainly do lift to another level, because you're saying, well, they can't break us down, lads. And Huddersfield will be thinking in the back of their mind, we've had 4 cracks at the line and we can't get over.
Maguire gets the ball away. The whole Huddersfield supporters think it was forward, but Mulhern hangs on. And the referee doesn't do anything, because he thought the pass was all right, and that's all that matters. And the kick in behind the defence.
Really smart, that, isn't it? They're just challenging the Giants to come away from their own line. They're in front on the scoreboard, Hull KR. They've just gained some advantage. Huddersfield Giants applied all that pressure, come away with nothing. And on the third tackle here, the amount of metres made is just 14.
Well, they would love a penalty here, Huddersfield. There's 4 tackles gone. Leeming makes a few more. That's a good run from the young hooker. Sub in every game so far. This is his 37th consecutive appearance. And the big kick downfield. Can the ball stay in the field of play? No, it can't. So Hull KR will have a 7-tackle set to bring it away from the 20-metre line.
They couldn't have done without that as well, couldn't they? And Lee Gaskell, one of those players who can cause some problems, but unfortunately for Huddersfield, it's just not their night. The way that Hull KR have trained and played over the last week, although he said Eddie, they've only trained once, but the way that they've played today, the way that they've turned up with the right attitude, I think they've been very good.
This fella's been the pick of them, Ryan Shaw. Really lively all night. Tommy Lee, Carney.
3.
Goes down on tackle number 3.
We're here, boys, please.
You see on the pictures the rain streaming down as Maguire feeds that man Ryan Shaw again. Eventually he's tackled. Lee into centre field it goes. And that's Mulhern. Lee again. Back he comes. Atkin switches the direction of the attack. Maguire, measured kick over the top. Well claimed in the end. Very well claimed by young Sam Wood.
Smart though, wasn't it? Switching the point of attack so that the guys who you're playing against couldn't really predict where the kick was going to come in. They obviously had a fullback, a catcher, players in place to do that, but by passing it around a bit, I think the number of passes they've thrown have been intelligent from Hull KR.
And where they turn the ball over, Hull KR, they're asking Huddersfield to go almost the full length of the field. And with defence like that, it's going to be difficult. Gaskell goes for a 40-20. He's not got the legs.
It's a desperate kick, that. They've kicked on the 4th tackle. He was looking for some distance. In wet weather, sometimes field position and territory is more important than possession. If you get your opponents near their own try line, you can look to force a mistake.
Quinlan to his feet. Still inside their own half. And still inside their own half, despite the good efforts of Ben Kavanagh.
4.
Now they're over halfway.
We're here, please, boys. Cruise back with me, please. 4. So far.
Lee gives it to Donaldson. Donaldson, oh, he finds Kavanagh, who somehow hangs on under pressure. Last one here. Maguire again. Little kick off the outside of the boot, looking for Ryan Shaw. Finding Ryan Shaw, but he had the ball pinched from him then by Aaron Murphy.
Well, it wasn't the best kick, was it, from Danny Maguire? But I do think, as we go towards the back end of this game, the leadership skills and qualities of Danny Maguire will come to the fore.
Huddersfield need a game-changing moment here, Eddie. They need somebody or something to happen that changes the feel of the whole match.
I feel it's going to come from one of those two front rows with a barnstorming run, because when Ikehefo came on, he lifted the team, and Akumatai's looking to do the same.
But it's single-man efforts, isn't it? And I don't know whether that's good enough to win this match.
Well, maybe they'll have something here as Leeming again goes on a solitary run, a solo run. Hinchcliffe 10 metres out. Into centre field with Brough. Brough gives the ball out wide then. The kick, well, it's not the best, I'm afraid, from Rankin.
Well, they'll be disappointed, won't he, Rick Stone? A couple of straight-up carries then when Cruz Leeming gets the ball from dummy half. He tucks it under his wing. He just jumps out from behind to play the ball, and then the kick here from Rankin. Yeah, he spots Jermaine McGilvray. Nobody in front of him, but he's got to make sure he gets the right kick away.
You can see what was in his mind.
What was in his mind was what Adam Quinlan did in the first half there, but the space wasn't there. It was a little bit too far in front of Jermaine McGilvray, but there were too many defenders, too many Hull KR shirts in front of the play if he'd have caught it anyway.
No Jake Marmo tonight for Huddersfield, of course, one of the most exciting players, and tomorrow we'll see, I think, an exciting game, because the unbeaten 100% league leaders St Helens take on the reigning champions. It's live tomorrow night, 7:30 on Sky Sports Arena from the Betfred Super League. Justin Carney, meanwhile, for Hull KR, skipped his way through 3, skipped his way through 4, loses the pass there at the ball then, rather, with a ferocious challenge from Oliver Roberts behind him.
Yeah.
Well, Oliver Roberts had to come up with that play. Justin Carney was away, wasn't he? Powerful run, gets rid of a couple of Huddersfield defenders, and then all of a sudden he's looking on the inside. He's not looking over his left shoulder, though, seeing where Oliver Roberts was.
Here he comes, look out.
Oh, he's so destructive, but well, he wasn't accounting for that man, Oliver Roberts.
Hull Kingston Rovers ahead here. They lost at Catalan last week. Warrington are the visitors there, who've just seen on Saturday evening, live here with us on Sky Sports. Could do with the win, Warrington, mind you, so could the Catalan Dragons, going for 2 in a row. The Dragons. Well, they'll be growing in confidence as this game goes into the last quarter. Will Hull Kingston Rovers. They lost just 3 last year in the Championship. Here, Tim Sheens' men are aiming to avoid 3 consecutive defeats. And the way they've coped in the first hour of this match, it's well within their capabilities. That's another poor pass behind the runner, Danny Brough. He manages to hold on to the ball. Kavanagh was all over him. Now then, Ikehefo, one of the big men that we've talked about, maybe can lift this team, wants to get on with it quickly. Leeming, tie to Brough, and Brough pokes a nose through, gets the ball away, goes through the legs.
Was that touched?
It was touched. It was touched.
Touched by a Hull KR player.
Yes, it was. And the referee has taken the report from his touch judge. And I think he'll put the scrum down with head and feet to the Giants. He does.
Look, I'm not saying the answer to this game is big men running hard and strong, but it seems to be the only thing that the Giants have got in their armoury. There's the touch from Heffernan, I think.
Well, what all coaches will talk about, players talk about, is ruck speed. We've got to win the battle of the play the ball speed. If we got to play quick, if the defence is retreating, we've got a chance. We can get at the defenders, we can fix a couple of defenders, and running off the backs of the likes of Akumatai and Ikehefo certainly give them a chance.
Well, I'm not saying this is the last throw of the dice for Huddersfield, but you feel they have to score shortly.
I agree.
And they get the penalty, do they? Yes, they do.
Mate, I don't know, mate. Your man has slipped. That's fine, I'll let that off. But then you don't go back on him, which we've done.
Well, he slipped and then he went back on the grounded player, hence the penalty. So here's some more pressure on this Rovers line. Hinchcliffe leading the charge. Big hit by Lawler. Leeming again. Back it comes then to Brough. Brough gets it away. And it's the fullback, Rankin, once again. Just can't get through this Rovers defence so far. There's a big man, Akumatai, takes them to within 1.5 metres of the line. Leeming wants to get on with it. Fires the pass to Brough above his head. Booms the pass wide then to Turner. There's something gone on there in back play. The referee has given Hull KR a penalty. I think that's for obstruction.
I think it was Thomas Minns that was taken out. Huddersfield again looking a bit clunky in what they're doing. The pass over the top, cutting out 4 players, looking for that miracle ball.
The longer that Hull KR hold out against this pressure from Huddersfield Giants.
You're growing in confidence as a defender here. You are absolutely growing in confidence. So they can't play through you. They're trying to play around you now.
I think Huddersfield had a better chance of attacking if they did it from within their own half. They get nervous, anxious, and getting close to the opposition line. Clearly, they can't score at that end of the field. They might as well start down in their own half to move the ball around and try and see whether that's a better opportunity for them.
Well, they've got 18 minutes or just a little bit more than. Meanwhile, here come Rovers. Thomas Minns, isn't it? Gets to his feet, plays the ball. Atkin drops the pass off again to Mulhern. Apart from the opening 10 minutes, Rovers have been in control of this match, both in attack and defence. And here they come again with Lawler. It's the last one here. You'd expect it to be Maguire. Now they go to the left-hand side. It's Maurice Blair, and he just says, well, we'll take the territory, nothing else.
There you go, Eddie. You said we expect it to be Maguire, so that's what you're playing against. Everyone might be looking up, looking what Danny Maguire's doing. All of a sudden, you've got Chris Atkin who pops up, calls for it on the left, and very difficult to defend when you've got players and pivots on the pitch who will call the ball. And if Danny Maguire's happy with letting Chris Atkin kick the ball, that's because he's got the confidence in the youngster.
Tell you what, Maurice Blair, who put that kick in, hasn't he had the highs and lows in his Hull Kingston Rovers career? Wembley 2015, the £1 million game the following year, back up again this year. He's seen both sides of the game.
Stayed loyal though, hasn't he, and give good service.
Yes, he has.
He's been asked to play in a number of positions. He's in the second row this evening, but will fill in at standoff when he's needed.
Yes, he's a useful man to have on your team. Here he goes again. Ikehihifo gets the pass away. That's better, that's better. And Ferguson will lead the charge down the left-hand side, gives it to Aaron Murphy, but he had to reach behind him and get it. Can he release the pass? Yes, he can. Here comes Sam Wood. That's a much better move from Huddersfield Giants. Now then, can they build on this? Gaskell gets the short pass away again. Ikehihifo, Gunda good offload. Gaskell takes it up once more. Gaskell hangs on 10 metres away from Rovers' line. Maguire's all over him. This is Cruz Leeming. Leeming goes down the short side. Leeming, and good defence. Maurice Blair, great tackle. Hinchcliffe fires the ball. It's with Brough. Brough then flat. A dab through and picked up. And thank you very much. And away go.
Here we go.
Kingston Rovers.
I don't think he's going to get there, Mulhern, Eddie.
Swatted away the challenger. McGilvray's after him. McGilvray has missed him. Mulhern gives the ball then infield to James Greenwood, and Hull KR go from one end of the field to the other. It's James Greenwood's try, but it's Rod Mulhern who gets the assist, and don't tell me it's going to be turned down. But Ikehihifo thinks he's seen something, and so too does the touch judge. But they do have the try in the field, but they're looking about offside in the build-up to that, Stu.
Yeah, Chris Kendall on the near side. Just wanted to check that he was onside following the ricochet on the kick. So it's from this kick forward. I think he's behind his own player, isn't he? Run it through. Yes, he's onside. That's fine. We'll go through to the grounding to check that the grounding's okay, but he's certainly behind his own player when that ball is played at, or when it touches him. All he has to do is have both feet behind him. I think you can clearly see that he has there.
Stuart, we don't want to go straight through to the ground. We want to see him in full flight.
Let's have a look at the techers on him.
Well, you're going to see him in full
flight. Here we go. He's going 80 metres here.
Do you know what first?
Stanley Brough away. Gets away from Jermaine McGilvray. And he's missed again, and it's on a plate then for James Greenwood. Tremendous stuff.
I'm giving that Eddie try of the season.
to Rob Malone. I've been watching Rob Malone since he was a young Normanton Knights player, and I saw him score tries like that every week, but I haven't seen him do it at top level.
You still haven't. He didn't score.
I'm giving it him, Eddie. The decision he made.
Assist of the season, then, Eddie.
First confirmation of the try. When he gets that ball in his hands, first of all, he shows tremendous dexterity to get down, collect that ball, and then he pins his ears back. As I say, Sergeant Slaughter, son of a regimental Sergeant Major, Pat Malone, will be off his seat clapping his young man all the way. James Greenwood, eventually the man that gets to put the ball over the line, but I'm giving the try assist, and I'll give him 3 of the 4 points that are awarded for the try, Rob Malone.
Well, he finds himself out wide, and he never, ever in a month of Sundays when he turned up here today, thought that he was going to go 80 metres and set up a try for his teammate James Greenwood.
I think he gave it Greenwood because he was absolutely shattered.
He couldn't go the further 5 metres.
He couldn't do another 5. He'd done 85, he thought, go on, you can have it. Ryan Shaw then, 4 from 4 with the boot. This will be 5 from 5, I think. And 26-6 to Hull Kingston Rovers. Could be an unassailable lead now as we approach the final quarter of an hour. Just to let you know, voting's going to be open shortly for the Betfred Man of the Match. There's a rugby league legend out there watching this evening with you. He will have enjoyed this as well, I'm sure. And he's going to come up with 4 candidates who've caught his eye. I'll let you know who they are. Then you can vote using the Rugby Football League's Our League app, and voting will be live in around about 5 minutes' time. There are candidates tonight in the colours of Hull Kingston Rovers, I think.
Well, as we know,
Barry would give it to Mulhern.
I would. You've just took the words out of my mouth. It's nothing to do with us, but I'd give it to Rob Malone, first of all for the run, and secondly for the facials.
And thirdly for the haircut, because you've been banging on about the haircut all night.
No offence, Tez.
Well, it's a remarkable turnaround when you consider that first 10 minutes. It looked as though Huddersfield were going to boss this game, and here goes Leeming. Gets the pass away to McGilvray. They've kept McGilvray quiet, haven't they, tonight?
He's been really busy.
Something that some of the best defences in the World Cup couldn't do. Keep Jermaine McGilvray quiet.
Look at that line speed as well.
And that wasn't there in the opening 10 minutes. Here's Brough now. Gets the ball away once more to Ferguson. Down he goes. Last tackle coming up. Huddersfield from one end of the field to the other. Have they got the finish? What a take out of the air that was by George Lawler.
Excellent, wasn't it? You know, some fullbacks will tell the defensive line in front of them to let the ball come through. Lawler come up with an amazing effort there then. Because Adam Quinlan would have been under some pressure there. Look at this. Great.
That's as good as a slip catch, isn't it? In the one-day international in New Zealand, you know? That's tremendous from Lawler. On a night like this, rain pouring down, slippy conditions, and here he is again taking the ball forward.
When you talk about top teams and the ones at the highest level, one of the things you notice is that they convert the chances. They might not have many chances, but they convert a high number of them into tries. I think that's been the case tonight for Hull KR. Remarkable. I didn't think there would be competitive. Brian Kenny asked me before the match who I thought would win. I went with the Huddersfield Giants. I thought they had home advantage and some better players, but their improvement rate in the opening 6 rounds of Super League has been really impressive for Hull KR. And every chance, in fact, it's been less than a chance at times, they've been able to convert it into 4 or 6 points tonight. They've really looked good, as well as defending their own try line like a really well-organised, fit, competitive team.
I was going to mention that the attack has been good, but the defence has been excellent so far. There it is again. Lawler once more putting himself around. Here goes the big fella. He changed direction. He might have changed direction again. That's a good offload once more. Okumatai wide they come. Murphy's waiting down this left-hand side for Sam Wood's pass. Is he going to come? No. Last tackle coming up for the Giants. Brough's kick into the in-goal area, and there's enough defenders there. Atkin, Maguire handing that ball down. They get rid of it. Goal line dropout again.
It was a good kick, wasn't it? Again, it's a challenging kick from Danny Brough.
It's a teaser, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a tormentor for the defenders.
He's got the correct weight, hasn't he? Look at this. Bit of backspin on it, just lands in the in-goal area, and Chris Atkin had to come to the rescue.
Is he still down, Chris Atkin? I was trying to watch the replays, how it came about, that injury.
I think it's fatigue, Barry.
Yeah. There doesn't look to be much. There's no collision. He falls forward. Is it a shoulder? Sometimes when your arm stretches out on the floor, your arm goes away from you, it might stretch your shoulder, but he seems okay to carry on.
Another of those short dropouts. Turner will run it back. They're certainly confident in their own defence, aren't they, Hull KR?
Look at
Second time they've done that.
Look at this line speed, good contact from Ben Kavanagh, but good offload and good take from O'Brien.
He gets to his feet and plays the ball to Gaskell. Here comes Akuma Tai. And he goes through the first challenge. He almost goes to the second. In fact, he does. And I think he's got this ball down. No, he's held up.
Wow, well, that's a big effort, that, if he's held Akuma Tai up.
Well, Akuma Tai says, go and have a look at the video, referee.
No, I don't need it.
And the referee says, I don't need it. Well, he might regret that.
Well, it looks like there's always a hand underneath the ball as he goes down. But I won't say that Ben Thaler was in the best position.
James Charles might be breathing a sigh of relief that one wasn't handed upstairs. Because I think he'd have given a no try on the field. He would have had to find conclusive proof. Anyway, the tackle count continues. O'Brien at dummy half. Back it comes, it's Brough. And it's Akuma Tai again. Great tackle. It was Mulhern, wasn't it? Brough. And that's going to be a knock-on. Justin Carney went for the big interception. Nearly came off.
They're missing a chance. They're not playing to the strengths. Huddersfield. Hull KR had just three men defending on the outside of the stick. So they had 45, 50 metres to go. But look at this from defence. And they have been very strong. But the big negative for Huddersfield is they're not recognising space. When they've got an overlap and there's just three defenders that's covering near enough half the pitch, they're not going at that point.
That might have been a toss of the coin. Anyway, man of the match vote is now open. And the four candidates chosen are Danny Maguire, Robbie Mulhern, Barry's got his way, Adam Quinlan and Ryan Shaw. So there we are, you've got the four candidates. You can vote on the Rugby Football League's Our League app, and the Betfred Man of the Match award will be announced as usual at the end of the game. Huddersfield trying to get something from this match, but look at this defence. But there's a bounce over, is it? No, Maurice Blair on the back of the big fella, Akuma Tai again. Once more, he has been denied. This is Danny Brough. They hound him down. They've watched him tonight so closely and force him back. And down he goes. O'Brien waits. That's a decent pass. This, once more, is Dale Ferguson. They've tried, Huddersfield, but they've come up against resolute defence tonight.
It's been like a brick wall, this defence. Hope I don't curse myself now.
Here's McGilvray.
Bodies, energetic players getting in the way. That's exactly what they're doing. Sometimes it's not about systems and structure, it's just about making it difficult for your opponents.
High ball, and that's off the head of Andrew Heffernan. It's the turnover. It was a knock-on by Huddersfield. It's the turnover. Hull KR will bring the ball away.
Well, let me tell you, when they interview Tim Sheens after the match, he'll be pleased with the attack. Don't get me wrong, they are far more effective than they were last week. But he will be gleaming with the attitude and effort of his side defensively. All right, Rick Stone's side, they're a little bit blunt when they get near the try line. It's very rare in a game of rugby league that you look at a team and you say the two most dangerous players
are the
two front rowers. Yeah,
agree, totally agree. They don't look like a side that scored 28 points away from home last week.
Well, the first two tries were from kicks, weren't they? That's been their big strength.
Here goes Heffernan. He has support on his inside. He has support in his outside from Ryan Shaw. And Ryan Shaw's second try, as he tries to improve the angle for his own kick, will surely win this match for Hull Kingston Rovers now. There is no doubt The Hull KR fans, their coach and their team are going home with 2 valuable competition points, their 2nd win of the season. Ryan Shaw and misery for Rick Stone and Huddersfield Giants. They've thrown everything at the Hull KR defence, it wouldn't crack. And at the other end, they've had the dexterity, they've had the talent to get over the line and score some great tries.
I think they've grew in confidence because the defence has been so good. And all of a sudden, Maguire, Quinlan at the back, Heffernan has caused problems every time he's got the ball. And Ryan Shaw certainly has put this game to bed here. Again, Danny Maguire at the line, fixes the defender. The same with Quinlan. Heffernan gets through, nice and composed, draws the fullback. And that's it.
They've been good on transition. They've had sustained periods of defence that's lung-busting, energy-sapping, and when it's come time to play with the ball, you saw a strong hard line that committed a Huddersfield Giants defender, and from that point on, execution was good. Huddersfield Giants, they haven't been good in attack, but they've come up against a very, very good side who've been ruthless when they had the ball.
Ryan Shaw is lining up this conversion attempt of his own try, getting his breath back. If he kicks this, it'll be 6 from 6, and probably really putting the hex on him here. But he will have then scored 20 of Hull Kingston Rovers' total of points. At the moment, he's got 18 of the 30. Ryan Shaw's try. Can he add the extras again, just as he did in the 37th minute of the first half? Close my eyes now, just in case it's a commentator's curse. No, never a doubt, never in doubt. 32-6, 20 for Ryan Shaw, who is one of the contenders, I do believe, for the Man of the Match award tonight.
Well, it's not that long off. The Hull KR side will play their arch rivals, Hull FC, isn't it, in Easter? And I guess one of the 2 of the Rovers fans needed a confidence boost. The way the season had started, they may not have fancied the chances against the Black and Whites, but the way they've played tonight, I'm sure every single one of them will want to be there if they possibly can, to see them take on Hull FC on Good Friday.
And before the big city derby on Good Friday, they've got the Saints next week, which will be a massive test. There we go. Here are the contenders for the Betfred Man of the Match. Adam Quinlan, 22%. Ryan Shaw, 2nd place. Rob Mulhern's walking away with it. Barry has been spending his money tonight. And Danny Maguire, 13%.
You've been flogging Ryan Shaw all night.
He's got to get it, Mulhern,
Eddie,
just for that run, Eddie.
Eddie, the people believe me.
Oh, I doubt that.
We'll convert you, Eddie.
Well, the thing is, and I have to reiterate this, you two, none of us nominate the Man of the Match. It's a rugby league legend. But we all have a little look, and we all have our own opinions. And Danny Maguire, well, it goes touch and goal.
He'll be really disappointed with that effort.
Hey, by the way, Mulhern hasn't won it yet. There's 5 minutes of voting to go.
He's won it for the haircut.
Surrendered. Stand! 0.
Well, Huddersfield have tried, but they've come up against better opposition tonight. Hinchcliffe, Grumatai, bumps into Mins again, back past him. Mins comes back for a 3rd attempt. With a little bit of help from Blair, he goes down. This is Gaskell. Gaskell to Brough. A kick, looking for Aaron Murphy, but all he does is find touch on this near side. Not been his night tonight, not been the night that he was hoping for to celebrate the new deal he signed earlier this week.
Well, you could see Eddie that they're chasing the game, they need points, but when he kicks that ball, then Murphy wasn't even aware of it, and Rick Stone knows that he's been taken apart. They've been second best by this Hull KR side. Again, head down, kicks the ball. He's expecting Aaron Murphy really to get up there. But I think it's one of those impossible kicks to score off. Just too much distance on it.
I do believe that Rob Mulhern has been taken from the field now. I think Tim Sheens believes he's going to get Man of the Match, and he needs 5 minutes to get his breath back.
After that run.
Yeah.
For the try that never was for Rob Mulhern.
It was an assist, Eddie.
It was a great assist. But Barry gave it him.
when we watch the replay of that, I want everybody at home to watch the facials, to watch the gurning on Rob Mallone's face as he's huffing and puffing his way.
There he is.
Still breathing deeply, the lad.
Oh, good pickup.
Oh, good
play.
play.
This is Ryan Shaw again. Ryan Shaw, inside it goes to Quinlan, further inside it goes to Danny Maguire, and the first try in Hull Kingston Rovers colours for Super League's record try scorer, Danny Maguire. And that just puts a little bit of icing on the cake for Hull Kingston Rovers. Danny Maguire, he's scored and scored for Leeds throughout his career, and no wonder he's smiling, because he's waited 6 rounds for that. He got one last week, but it was disallowed for obstruction in Catalan. Tonight he's got one, there's no need to chalk that off, and 36-6, this has been a hammering.
Well, before tonight, the best performance from Hull KR was against Leeds Rhinos at Ellen Road. They have eclipsed that in some fashion tonight. Look at the players flooding through. Danny Maguire on this pitch as a Leeds Rhinos player scored 2 wonderful tries, backing up, supporting the action. He's not lost that instinct, he's not lost that touch, he's developed his game as an organiser and a provider, but that's the old Danny Maguire, that one.
There's good movement, isn't it, from Maguire and Quinlan. We've got to give a big rap as well, I think, to James Webster. He's the assistant to Tim Sheens. A very clever, intelligent halfback when he played the game for Hull KR. And that's a good team, that, on the coaching setup.
Well, it'll be a delightful trip home to East Yorkshire from West Yorkshire tonight for the men from Hull Kingston Rovers. And Ryan Shaw's about to kick his 7th goal. A disappointing night for Huddersfield, but a wonderful night for Hull KR. They haven't won at Huddersfield since 2012. 6 years. That awful run comes to an end tonight. 38-6, a minute and a half remaining. They are delighted, and why wouldn't they be? It's been a wonderful performance. 70 minutes, they have bossed this. Seemed to be struggling the opening 10, but then they really got to the grips with the match, and Tim Sheens will be well pleased. Well pleased. But this man, Rick Stone, well, it's back to the drawing board on Monday.
No doubt, Eddie, they'll be in tomorrow. They won't be having... They have to wait till Monday. Sure that when they look back at this game, they'll be really, really disappointed. A good start, as you said, a good opening 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden, they just switched off.
Inside the last minute, Thomas Minns looks for a penalty that isn't coming. Atkin gets the ball out wide to the left-hand side, and that's Kavanagh. Atkin again goes the same route.
Short side players have been very good. It worked excellent for them in this game.
Well, Huddersfield over the years have had much the better of things against Hull KR since they entered the competition, but not tonight. And here's Shaw once more.
I think this right edge has caused an awful lot of problems with Shaw and Heffernan.
That's Clarkson. Here's Maguire, and he just pumped this ball out because he knows that the time is just about up. There won't be time to form this scrum. And Tim Sheens, his men have won, and won well at Huddersfield, whose supporters are not too happy, but they are delighted. 38 points to 6. 6-0 down after 7 minutes. Since then, Rick Stone will know, as he looks at his notes, as I look at mine, that Hull Kingston Rovers have bossed this match. We've had Danny Maguire's first try in their colours. We've had 2 from Shaw. We've had Greenwood, Quinlan, Heffernan as well. Shaw has kicked brilliantly. And 38 points to 6, well, that tells its own story. Confidence booster for Hull KR, this.
It is, Eddie. It's exactly what they needed. Good performance, shaky opening 10 minutes. But then the way that they've performed, the way that they've defended for the next 70, close to the line, challenged, forcing Huddersfield into making mistakes. And like Barry said before, it's a when you look at the way Huddersfield played, the best two players were the two prop forwards. With all due respect to prop forwards, their skills and their ability to break down the opposition is not going to get you the 2 points.
OK, I think we should find out now who the Betfred man of the match is, and I think that Barry McDermott is smiling because Sergeant Major Mulhern has got it. He is the Betfred man of the match. He's talking to Bill.
Yeah, man of the match, Rob Mulhern. Well done, Rob. And well done on almost going all the way, setting it up for James Greenwood. There was only 5 metres to go.
Yeah, I don't want to be greedy. I thought if I don't give it, I don't score. I won't end it. So yeah, just lucky we're there. Really, got us a good bit of breathing room.
Did you look up the field and think, oh no, there's a long way to go here?
Yeah, I was hoping someone would catch me a bit earlier, but yeah, it was really good. I wanted to be backing up, and I thought we were a really good performance tonight. You know, really happy with the 2 points.
You've put in a great effort, despite some stick you've taken from some of our commentators commenting on your new hairstyle.
New hairstyle. I've had this for a while now. Is it Baz? I'll have to have a word.
Steady.
I'll have to have a word with him after.
And you're gurning as well. Do you know that when you're running flat out?
No, not when I'm going that quick. To can't help what I do with my face.
Listen, that is some performance. Come back from Perpignan, you've only had one training session. To do what you've done tonight, that's some effort.
Yeah, I think it shows how close we are as a group. You know, there's been a lot of noise coming outside to win, but, you know, we've not let it affect us, you know. We're, like you say, we're really close, and it's been hopefully that'll get a few critics off us back, but, you know, we're never worried. You know, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing and build for Saints next week now.
That's right. You've got man of the match. You've got a cheque for £250, Rob, to a charity of your choice. Where's that going to go?
Yorkshire Air Ambulance, please.
Well done tonight, Rob Mulhern, man of the match.
Thank you. Cheers.
Tim Sheens, Hull Kingston Rovers coach. First of all, that was a great effort, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, from 6-0 down. Long time since we've had 100% completion first half and over 80% second half, which was just dominated what possession we did get. They still got more ball on us, but very happy with what we did with the control.
Defensively as well, because it's not as though Huddersfield didn't throw quite a lot at you.
No, threw a lot of. We were scratchy, hanging on, but we hung on. We scrambled for one another, and I think that made the difference. Just turned up, keep turning up.
And Rob Mulhern got man of the match, almost went the entire length of the field, which in a way sums up the commitment we've seen tonight from the Rovers side.
Yeah, he's a very good, very good young kid. Got big future. Good speed, back row speed for a front rower. So, with the big fender on Broth, he'll rave about that for weeks.
This has been some performance, hasn't it? Because you came back from Perpignan feeling weary, a bit fed up with the way things had gone.
We started slow and we looked tired, but I think that second try, the second try really woke us up, you know. Was a training drill that we've practiced and it worked perfectly, and then from then on we seemed to find our ground, you know, find our game.
Tim, thanks very much.
Pleasure, thank you.
Danny Maguire is somewhere around here as well. We can have a word with him. He's just over here. Yes, please. Congratulations on your first try in Rovers colours. And it was a very familiar finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, the legs nearly didn't get there, though, the old legs. But yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it tonight. It was conditions were tough, obviously, for both teams, and I thought we played really well. We've not been a million miles off in the early part of the year. We've worked hard for each other, just on the wrong side of a couple of results. But you know, the work ethic tonight was real good from the lads, and obviously really pleased to beat a good Huddersfield team.
And are you enjoying life?
I'm loving it, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's different, and really enjoying it. Really good set of lads, great club, and obviously great backing tonight from the fans that have come across on a wet Thursday night. So, yeah, loving it, really enjoying it. New challenge, and yeah, we'll improve from that as well.
What's it like mentoring young Chris Atkin as well?
Chris is good. Chris is really good. He deserved his inclusion in the Knights. He's still developing. He's obviously inexperienced in Super League, but he wouldn't know that with some of his stuff that he did tonight. He's only going to get better as well. And there's a lot of the boys the same. They're not much experience in Super League, but they're getting there, and we'll be better once the summer comes round as well.
You got Saints to come, but you're looking forward to your first Hull derby?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to every game actually. It's a little bit different, isn't it? A bit of nerves and everything, and a challenge. Yeah, it's really good.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
And Rick Stone, finally, the Giants coach. You wouldn't have thought the way you started that game, Rick, when you really looked as though you were going to go to town, that it would end up like that.
Yeah, we had a good start. We controlled the game well. Looked okay in attack, and
you know, one little piece of great stuff from the opposition. They scored a try and we sort of lost our way a little bit from them. Full credit the opposition. They were great. I don't think we underestimated by any stretch of imagination. Their form, even though they hadn't been winning, has been really competitive, and they played really well in the conditions, didn't make an error in the first half and went on with it in the second.
You said before the game that you're not maybe firing on all cylinders. Is that still the case?
Oh, by the scoreline, that'd be absolutely. You know, we were outplayed by a team who played really well. You know, in the conditions as well, tough conditions. We probably tried to play around them a little bit too much, and the change of direction from KR was great. So full credit to them, and you know, we got a bit of thinking to do before we play our next game.
Confidence a bit low at the moment?
Oh, it was all right before the game, for sure. You know, we were upbeat. You know, we've beat ourselves in the last couple of games, you know, that we have lost. But we were beaten by the opposition today. They played well.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Wigan, Leeds and Catalan away, coming up for Rick Stone and the Huddersfield Giants, though this will not make pretty reading for them. 38-6 they lost in the end, 20-6 at half-time. Ryan Shaw with a tally of 22 points, 2 tries, 6 conversions and a penalty. John Wells, I left you at half-time questioning whether or not Huddersfield could come back into the game. Had you seen anything? It was only one side in that second 40 minutes.
There was, but they had to work for it, Brian. I think the key that will take out of this game, certainly for Hull KR, was some defensive resilience. We're going to see the second half tries, but I think that was preceded with a lot of hard work in defence. I think as I said, they showed some resilience that we've not really seen in them before. Glimpses of it, yes, last week, but I think that trip to Perpignan took an awful lot out of them. 12 minutes pretty much defending on their own line before that try by James Greenwood on the 64th minute. I thought they showed an awful lot of hustle as well. It's a word I'll come back to in just a minute. He was really impressive, wasn't he, Heffernan? And this for Ryan Shaw's second, and a personal haul that he can be very, very proud of. He's a winger I think has made great strides. Horrific knee injury a couple of years ago, and he's built and worked his way back up. And then what a way to finish as well for Danny Maguire to make it 38 points. And the aesthetic, the attacking aesthetic, was very pleasing to see and would please a lot of Hull KR fans. The game breaker then. 64th minute, it's fairly obvious what it is, but I'm going to show you what happened before. And this is what I mean when I was talking about defensive hustle. The best piece of attacking play from Huddersfield all game. And look at the reaction. They were breached. The defensive line was breached. First of all, Danny Maguire sinking in there, and then Ryan Shaw making sure that was at least stopped temporarily. Now, here's the man, Adam Quillen. I thought he pushed very, very hard for a man of the match selection. What these pictures don't tell you is how much communication is going on. The signals are there from him for the players. He's still organising, but what you're not seeing is the chat, the conversation, making sure that these guys are hustling, getting back in position. They'll give up ground all day long, but they're not going to let their defensive line be breached. There's real pride in that defensive line. Huddersfield not crossed it since the 10th minute. And then off the back of that, they get a bit of luck from a ricochet. And then Rob Mulhern puts his ears back. Great individual effort from him. It wasn't just that won him the man of the match. Some really hard, uncompromising lines in the first half. Some great defensive efforts from him as well. Greenwood scores the try. That improves a 14-point lead to a 20-point lead. But there's lots to like about Hull KR. They've been growing. I think they've been getting better. That defensive resilience will serve them well, particularly next week, Brian, with the visit of Saints.
Yes, thanks very much, John. Just a quick look at the Betfred Super League table now. That's 2 points for Hull Kingston Rovers, pushes them up into the top 8. Huddersfield will stay outside the top 8 now. Just 2 wins to their name for 2018. Right, Phil Clark. The narrative going into this match was Hull Kingston Rovers' difficult start to their return to Super League. Just the 1 win for them. Huddersfield had 2 more, but we were seeing signs from Huddersfield. Big win against Warrington, pretty good in defeat against St Helens. It's just changed it all again tonight. What do we know? How wiser are we coming out of here at the John Smith Stadium?
I mean, Hull Kingston Rovers were absolutely brilliant. Their rate of improvement, their performance was superb tonight. Huddersfield were equally as disappointing as Hull KR were as brilliant. The imagination, though, was the most impressive thing for me from Hull KR. The willingness to attack, to put on different players, to have players running into different holes on different lines. I thought that was so refreshing to see, and they were great to watch. So as the season progresses and the team develop, I can only imagine they're going to become a better side to watch and a more difficult team to play against. For Huddersfield, the home side, well, the problem seems to be they're great in the opening 20 minutes, but then they've faded away, whether it's a concentration. They stopped playing rugby after about 20 minutes. They stopped throwing passes. They had sets of 6 where there would just be one-man drives and then a kick downfield. And it appears as though there's an obsession with earning territory and then thinking that we're going to crash over the opponent's try line when we get to the other end of the field. They had, I don't know, 3 times as long in terms of minutes inside the opposition half and couldn't still win that match.
I mean, looking at some of the attacking play, they were trying to put width on the ball, but it broke down. Look at the James Greenwood try. Rob Mulher intercepting and blocking a kick. There was efforts by them. It just didn't have the accuracy maybe that they needed.
No, or the timing. Early on, they had 2 good threats, didn't they, with Oliver Roberts on one side, Dale Ferguson on the other. They were like bishops on a chessboard, shooting forward down the flanks of the field. But they didn't get the service, they didn't get the space later on. They had lots of opportunity, but I felt the longer the game went on, the more frustrated and anxious they became, attacking close to the Hull KR line.
Wigan away, Leeds at home, and Catalan away, coming up for Rick Stone and his men now. 6 games, that'll break it to 9 games. What are we looking at for Huddersfield after 9 matches?
The biggest problem they'll have when they review that game is to maintain some confidence. How can you watch that game, know that you had more possession, better territory, and lose by over 30 points? Rebuilding the confidence is the challenge for Rick Stone and the club here now over the next few days, so they go into those games believing they can still win.
Yep, might be a tough week ahead at the Huddersfield Giants. What's coming up for you? Right, Sky Sports News, they'll be talking about Rory McIlroy's improvements and Tiger Woods, how well he's doing at the Arnold Palmer. Shot 4 under today. That'll all be discussed, as will Gareth Southgate's latest England squad. 4 uncapped players named in that for the friendlies against Holland and Italy. 10 p.m. Sky Sports News for all that discussion. All right, tomorrow, join us from the Totally Wicked Stadium. The unbeaten St Helens side go up against the reigning champions, the Leeds Rhinos. 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Arena for that one. And then on Saturday from the south of France, Catalan Dragons, hoping to build on last week's win against Hull Kingston Rovers, their first of the season, host Steve Price's Warrington Wolves. 4:55 p.m. on Sky Sports Action for that one. Thank you very much for your company here tonight at the John Smith Stadium. 2nd win of the season for Tim Sheens and Hull Kingston Rovers. Plenty of head scratching though for the Huddersfield Giants.
We've come a long, long way to hard times and labor. I have to celebrate you.